Why, hello there. There's something up with the camera? No, I think it's just the lighting. Anyway, yeah, movie night today. I'm gonna watch two movies in quick succession. So there is Boy Kills World and there is Challengers. So Boy Kills World is up first. This is a revenge movie. So a guy's family's murdered. He goes for revenge. But it's a bit more complex than that. This time, because we've seen the story many times, but in this occasion, he is deaf. So we're talking about a boy who's deaf. His whole family is murdered, so he's trained by some mysterious person to become this death machine, essentially. And he falls in with a certain resistance group. That's all I know, as far as I know of IMDb. But yeah, he has a crazy imagination, and he also has an inner voice. So he can't hear, he's deaf, but he can hear something from his mind. So that's interesting. So he must be this crazy person who happens to be someone who's out for revenge. So yeah, there you go. It seems very brutal based off previews and trailers and synopsis, but I hope it's good. I do like a revenge movie, and this one, the person seeking revenge is deaf and has a unique imagination. And even though he's deaf, he does hear certain things. This Bill Skarsgård is starring in this. And the other one stars Zendaya. This is that tennis movie coming out. The trailer had a threesome scene in it, which was very interesting. Apart from that, tennis movies are very hit and miss. The better ones are usually the ones that are based in real life. Like that Will Smith one, for example, that he won an Oscar for and punched someone. This one's fictional, as far as I know anyway. Yeah, I think there's apart from that trailer, I don't know much about it. I don't want to know much. I'm just gonna go in seeing what's up, because I watched the trailer like 10 times. All I remember is that threesome scene. So and they're probably not gonna show anything in that anyway. So I promise you I'm not watching for that. I'm watching because it actually sounds interesting to an extent, but I don't know what to think. But that trailer was so bizarre that I'm watching it because I expect it to be bizarre. So yeah, it literally starts the minute the other movie ends. So Boy Kills World and straight into Challengers, which could be a palate cleanser from what I'm hearing about Boy Kills World. But hopefully two good movies, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this tennis movie is about. Because I think I know something, but I don't know much. But I'm intrigued. I think there's different characters in it, and yeah, it is about tennis. Like, they are playing tennis in this movie, but it seems like there's other things that happen outside of tennis that are also in this. This one's rated at 15, Challengers. Boy Kills World is rated at 18. In America, it's just rated R, rated R. But in this one, you have, like, 15 is rated R. 18 is even higher. Even more crazy. So the revenge film is an 18. Challengers is a 15, I assume mainly because of explicit scenes rather than violent scenes. Anyway, let's get over to Cineworld. Alright, I am here. It's also 6:05, movie time is 6, there are adverts, but I still want to get in. It's also raining, so let me get in. Why am I vlogging like this? I don't know. I should be vlogging like this. By the way, as I mentioned in my holiday vlogs, I'm losing my job because they're shutting down the branch. It's very annoying. But I've applied for new jobs recently, got some interviews I've had for different companies. One has accepted my offer, they've accepted me, I'm sorry. I had an interview this morning, my second interview for the same company, because they had quite a big process. They had an online assessment, phone call interview, and then 2 in-person interviews. It's technically 3 because I had 2 this morning. Then a few hours later, I got a call saying, you can have the job. But I got a dilemma because I can get redundancy pay for my current job. I'm going to try and see if I can get it early. There's negotiations to actually get it early this week. So hopefully I'm going to see what's going to happen. I'm going to say, because I told them about my situation, they said it's possible I can start in July. But I've also got a guaranteed job today. So it's just like, it's a risk, but I'm putting them on hold. I'm saying, I can get back to you I can get back to you later on. I want to see what's up if I get redundancy. And she was like, it's okay. We'll put it on your list, on a list of people that have passed their assessments, everything. So eventually I can call back, but there is the risk of someone else taking the jobs. So there is that, but I'm taking that risk because obviously there's a chance that I could get the compensation out of it. So we shall see. We shall see how that goes down. So it's like, oh, either take a guaranteed job now with better pay, or take the risk of not getting it and putting me on reserve to try and get this redundancy payment. Because I've been at this place for 4 years, I'm working there 4 years at the same place. It's actually a high amount of money I could get. Because I need to know if I can get it early, because like they shut down in July. I'm just like, that's a long way. But I did tell my workplace and they said you can possibly start in July, but there's no guarantees of that. So I've taken a risk. We're gonna see what happens. Either way, I'm gonna need a job. I'm gonna need steady income, so we'll see. And the other company, they said they'll take 2 weeks to get back to me if I'm successful or not. So yeah, it's all going down at the moment. But I'll know more next week. I'll update in a vlog or something. Anyway, enough about that. On to the movies. I'm gonna watch both movies consecutively, so there's no like in-between review. I'll tell you my thoughts on both of them afterwards. First of all, the deaf person revenge movie, followed by the tennis movie that's a bit explicit. Let's do this. Got this poster that I brought from the cinema. This is now the next day, by the way. This is really cool, so I thought I'd just take one and go before it was like 11 p.m. Almost closing time. Cool poster. It's just after Spurs v Arsenal. What a bloody game that was. Sorry about the camera. So yeah, the two movies were interesting in their own ways. They were both good. There was a twist I did not expect, so let me mute the browser because I got the Forest City game on right now. Where do I start? I'll start with Boy Kills World because I watched that first. As I said, revenge movie, he's deaf, but there's some twists and turns. It's not just outright a revenge movie. There are some twists. The villain might not be the villain you think, and same with the hero. Not everyone is who you think. There's some big twists towards the end, so it's not just some straightforward, streamlined revenge movie. That's part of it, but there's a lot more to it. There's some twists and some turns, and it was very interesting for sure. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 rating. I do recommend it. It's a fun action movie. It's different, and on top of that, because he's deaf, he has his own inside voice, and this inside voice narrates the movie. So we are basically like, he's not talking to us, he's just talking to himself, narrating the movie, but like the way he's talking, it's like he's talking to us. It's like he's telling us his thoughts. No one else can hear him, but we can hear him. We can hear his thoughts. There's one point he's fighting someone, right? And this other person is very resilient, keeps getting up. This villain keeps getting up, and he's just like, player 2 is effing crazy. But the way he said it, the delivery of that line was amazing. It was like, does Bill Skarsgård do the voice as well? Because it's like a very deep voice. Doesn't sound like him. But there was some really funny parts of the voice. I just thought, this guy is funny. It's like, it's a deep voice narration. Even when he's a kid, you see a deep voice narration. You hear the same voice the entire time, whether he's a kid or an adult. And it works really well. So even though he's deaf and no one else can hear him, we can at least hear his thoughts. And there are some funny, crazy thoughts in that. But yeah, there's one character, a female character. I had a feeling about her because I just thought to myself, because she's wearing a helmet, there's something up with this person. And I kind of like, I didn't see it coming, but the twist of the character, I'm just like, that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm just like, okay, so it's not like I saw nothing coming. I've kind of saw like with her there'd be something going on. Then I realized it all makes sense, that all adds up. So the plot does thicken quite a lot, but I do recommend it. The other one, Challengers, is surprisingly very good. So that scene with 3 people is barely much. Like, you see most of it in the trailer, so don't get too excited by that. But it's actually like a really good tennis movie. So it's like a love triangle tennis movie. So there's 3 characters. They all went to the same high school. Zendaya plays tennis, and the other 2 guys, they also play tennis. They all love playing tennis. They all want to go pro one day. They love it. They all love tennis in their own way, in different ways actually, different personalities, but different ambitions. But both of these guys fancy her, and they've been best friends since boarding school, long time best friends, but she's gonna break them apart in a way because they both fancy her. Only one can get her. So at the start, you find out who does. So at the start, it takes place like in the present when they're all adults, all like a long way away, and you get flashback scenes to high school. So it's filmed like that. You go back and forth to like 4 or 5 different time periods. You go like now to 13 years ago to 8 years ago to last week. They keep going back and forth. But the way it's done, I think works. I think it's structured really well to make it all make sense. But you find out who gets the girl right at the start and who doesn't. And the one who doesn't has a hard life. The one who does, this is not a spoiler by the way, this is like all like the first 10 minutes. He is a famous tennis player. He has won Wimbledon. He's won Australian Open. He's won the French Open multiple times. He's won all 3 of those multiple times. The one Grand Slam out of the 4 he hasn't won is the US Open, and he's never won it. And he's trying to chase this goal. And the other character who doesn't get the goal, he just plays local tennis. He just never made it to like he made it to pro, but he never became like a top 100 player. So he didn't play that many tournaments. So he's like he still got to play tennis, just not at the level that his friend did, and his friend also got the girl. So eventually they meet again down the line, in a tennis match and through other ways as well. But yeah, you get these flashbacks to how they were before, how they are now, what happened between them, why they're not talking anymore. It's not just about, oh, one gets to go, one doesn't. A lot of things happened. And I'm surprised by how good the storytelling was. It was actually quite complex. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And then you get to the tennis. Tennis was fun. I feel like I wanted more of the tennis scenes because, especially in the last match, the way they filmed the tennis was really cool. There was a couple first-person scenes. I thought that was amazing. You see this first-person scene, and you see it through the person's eyes, hitting the ball and receiving it. I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. And then you cut from this angle, you transition straight to a bird's eye view, and I'm just like, that was incredible the way they transitioned it. And there's a few other angles, a few close-ups. The way they filmed some of the tennis, especially at the end, I'm just like, this is really cool. I have one disappointment, and that is the very last scene. I understood the point of the last scene, the very last frame of the movie, literally when the credits roll. I understood that, but I also don't think that was a good way to end it. I also don't understand why it ended there. I don't like why all of that build up and that's how it ends. Even though it makes sense, like the scene makes sense. It's not like it's like one of those stupid scenes. It makes sense, but at the same time, it doesn't work as an ending. It doesn't work as an ending. So yeah, it's just like, it's a scene that's good, but it doesn't work as an ending to the movie, in my opinion. I think they could have added more to that film, but that's the only real gripe I got. I think it's a solid, good movie. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised. So yeah. Also, the Boy Kills World movie, the Revenge movie, has an after credit scene right at the end. You got to wait right till the end, and you might be disappointed. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and goodbye.